into the Money Goddess podcast. I'm your host, Jasmine Thomas Bridges, and I am here for another episode. You guys, we are going to dig in on the topic of the Great Lock In. So, you guys might have heard of Winter Arc maybe last year in 2024. Well, now this year for 2025, it's called the Great Lock In. And I am here to share with you exactly what you can do to get the best results from the next 90 days. So, I am sharing this at the end of September, anticipating moving from October, November, December, using those 3 months to quantum leap your results and get exactly what you desire from your life. So, if this resonates with you, make sure that you go ahead, share this episode with a friend. If you're viewing live, make sure you comment down below. This is an opportunity for you to shine. That's what these next 90 days are all about, and I want to help you get there every step of the way. So, without further ado, let's get ready to dig in. Now, I have 3 specific topics we're going to focus on to help us really make the most of the last couple of months of 2025. Hello, welcome for those of you who are coming in. Happy to have you. Let me know about your great lock in. If you are ready to up level these last 3 months of 2025. So, here we go. The first thing that I would recommend you do to turn up the dial on your 2025 is to focus on emotional regulation. That's probably not what you were expecting to hear. You might have thought, oh my gosh, like, no, I thought we were talking about goals. I thought we were talking about getting money. Listen, we're going to get there. But in order for you to have the capacity to receive, you need emotional regulation. This is not a topic that is heavily discussed or talked about. And the reason for that, I believe, is because we don't want to acknowledge that our emotions are a part of the reason why we have not been able to create the life that we want for ourselves. So, I want to share with you what happened to me when I did not have my emotional regulation and my nervous system intact. So this was 2020. Of course, everyone probably remembers where they were during the pandemic and how challenging that was. Well, not only did I have, hello, welcome. Welcome, everyone. We are digging into the Great Lock In. Let me know if you are doing the Great Lock In. I want to make sure that I'm helpful and supportive. What we are talking about is emotional regulation, and I am sharing with you why the emotional regulation piece is so important for you to get the most out of these next 90 days. So in 2020, I had, of course, the pandemic, just like everyone else. But then my husband and I decided to move forward and get married. We bought a house. And then 4 months later, I was pregnant with my son. You guys, that was so much quantum leaping happening in such a short amount of time. And honestly, that was over about 90 days, the same amount of time as the Great Lock In. And I was not ready for all of that success and happiness. Even though I held it together, I was still anxious. And that's why I want you to work on your emotional regulation and your nervous system, because you need to be able to handle the goodness. You need to have capacity. Say that with me in the chat. Capacity to receive. A lot of us don't have the capacity to receive because We have only had so much or have seen so much in our lives. So you might have family members, for example, that never achieved going off to college. And you might be the first person that gets to go to college. But when it's time for you to get ready for, your final classes, your nervous system starts acting up because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm the first one to do this. I've never had this done before. What am I going to do? And some people start to self-sabotage. Yes, that is the reason why you need nervous system regulation, because you will be your own worst enemy. You will overly critique yourself. You'll become to be someone who is such a perfectionist. You won't give yourself grace. You won't give yourself time or patience because your nervous system is not where it needs to be. If you can relate to this, let me know in the chat. Is this something you have experienced where you have prayed for your dreams to come true? You're working towards manifesting them. And then all of a sudden you feel overwhelming. Like you feel so overwhelmed with anxiety and stress. You guys, this happened earlier as well in my life too. I believe that was 2018. Like I had started getting more buildings with my educational business and I started making more and more money. And then all of a sudden I started sabotaging. I stopped doing certain programs. I just felt so overwhelmed. I couldn't do it. I was just crying all the time. That was my nervous system afraid for that next level. So that's why I want to teach you guys. I'm going to go over specific regulation techniques that you should be doing daily. If not daily, at least every other day, once a week is bare minimum, okay? So, hello, welcome. For those of you who are coming in, we're talking about what we're doing for the Great Lock-In. Okay, the first thing I said and shared with you, emotional regulation is what you need. It's not something that's talked about, but it's the reason why a lot of people don't manifest exactly what they desire, because they don't have the capacity to receive. They don't believe they deserve it. They haven't seen others achieve that. They have only gone to where they have known, and stepping into the unknown is why your nervous system needs to be regulated. So the first thing that I want to share with you that you can do is EFT tapping. I have talked about EFT tapping a lot on my TikTok at I am JL Thomas, and I do it as well here on my YouTube channel, The Money Goddess 333, and there is a lot of good I've done affirmations ones. I've helped you work through. But basically, what you're doing for EFT tapping is tapping your meridian points, which is the top of your head, inner eyebrows, outer, under your eyes, under your nose, under or on your chin, your collarbones, under the bra strap area, and karate chops. And you tap those points over and over and over. Now, while you're doing that, you're going to focus on one thing or one emotion you want to get past. So when you think about the Great Lock-In, what is an emotion that you feel like holds you back from really stepping up and getting to that next level? Is it you have a fear of procrastination, right? To where you know what you have to do, but you're just going to wait and wait and wait, and you're never going to start and take action? Is it that you're afraid you won't hit your goal? Whatever your goal is that you had in mind. And so you just never start, right? Talk through that emotion. So for me, when I started the Great Lock-In, which was called Winter Arc, last season, I focused on my overall physical health. And I remember breaking through doing EFT tapping, different beliefs that I had about my weight, that I had about my capacity to be able to exercise, how much I should be doing. I even looked at my nutrition, thinking through what protein amounts I needed. I was able to tap through that, and now it is second nature for me to do my physical fitness routines. It's second nature for me to have certain nutritional elements in my body every single day. And the way that I was able to get there was because I did EFT tapping. It kept me calm. Did you know that EFT tapping also helps with depression, anxiety, as well as if you are having cravings? EFT tapping helps you to mitigate those cravings, like sugary cravings that you may have. Yes, I remember when I first started doing it, and I was like, I'm not eating as much. And I thought it was because maybe my son was sick and I was so focused on him. But then after my son wasn't sick anymore, I didn't have as many cravings. And now, and I haven't shared this publicly, but I am expecting, and I still don't have those cravings because I'm still doing my EFT tapping every single day. So I highly recommend it. If you want me to do more EFT tapping videos and like go through the process, let me know in the chat if there's a specific topic that you want to talk about with EFT tapping. I've done a lot of them on money. I've done some on eliminating debt, bringing in more money. I've even done it on anxiety. So I'm happy to do those for you. So the next emotional regulation technique I would recommend doing to really get set for the great lock-in is somatic shaking. You guys, I cannot stress how good somatic shaking feels in your entire body. It's almost like your spine feels when you're doing somatic shaking, because all you're doing is when you stand up, it's almost like you're in a demi squat position and you're just shaking your body, and you'll loosen up your hands, you'll loosen up your legs, and you just do it gently, right? It's not something super hard or anything like that. And oh my gosh, you will begin to yawn, and you'll do the same thing for EFT tapping. Whenever you're yawning, it's letting go of that emotion that you've had and been holding on to. A lot of people who are not able to contain and hold their manifestations, like if you're one of those people that you always manifest anything you want, but you can't maintain it, it's your nervous system. So doing somatic shaking helps to realign that energy and let go of anything stagnant in your body. It propels you forward, and you'll be able to really step up and do what you need to do because you feel calm and you don't feel overwhelmed. All right. So when you're doing your somatic shaking, you can talk through things, or for me, I don't like to talk. I just like to shake. And my husband sees me at night. He's like, "Oh, you're shaking." Yes, I am. It helps so much. And especially like you guys, you can do this anytime you get upset or something bothers you. Like just start doing your shaking. And if you've even watched a dog do it, when they come inside and they shake for a second and then they sit and they yawn, they have just regulated their nervous system. So that's something that you're going to want to do as well to help you get to that next level. My next technique has to do more so with supplements. So I don't know if you guys are supplement like people, but I am. I have found that supplements have made my life a lot better, and not just basic like multivitamins. We should be doing that anyway, right? But magnesium glycinate helped me so much, especially postpartum, because obviously I wasn't sleeping as much and I had to, breastfeed my son around the clock. So it was very difficult to do that. Magnesium glycinate helped to relax my body, especially my muscles. I was able to get a deeper sleep. I also would even recommend the lemon balm. That is another specific thing that resets your nervous system. It's going to allow you to just get to a state of ease. And that's where we want to be. when we think about the great lock-in, we're not sitting here thinking of all the things that we can do that's going to stress us out. We are looking for ways to make our lives much easier. Hello, welcome everyone. So happy to have you. We are discussing the great lock-in. Go ahead and share if you are doing the great lock-in as well. And any questions you might have, you are welcome to share them. So I want you to think about your supplements and talk to your doctor. If you have a dietitian, just really sit down and think about, are you getting enough iron in one day? Are you getting enough magnesium in your body? Think about all the vitamins and the minerals that your body needs. Is that getting done with your day-to-day diet? For me, I noticed I needed to do more fruits for hydration purposes. I also do a liquid IV. So if you need a supplements list, I'm probably going to list one soon. I am an Amazon affiliate, so I do have different links. You can check out all the links on here on YouTube, The Money Goddess 333, and that way you can be able to learn more about those supplements for healing, but they definitely help. And even my son utilizes those, and he's almost 4. He has like a little, I think it's chameleon. I'm saying that wrong, sorry, but he uses that to help him calm down. I myself will sometimes use melatonin. You guys, you can choose whatever works for you and discuss this with your healthcare provider, because a lot of us are having so many deficiencies. How can we lock in if our bodies are not good within? It doesn't work like that. So we have to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves in every way possible. Now, listen up, guys. I have 2 more sections I'm going to go through, but I will have to come back and do those for you guys after a quick break. So what I'm going to be talking about next, and make sure if you haven't already subscribed to the Money Goddess podcast or to our YouTube channel, make sure that you do, because I go live kind of at random sometimes. Sorry, I don't have a certain time. Eventually, I'll get there. But I'm going to be talking to you about morning and nighttime routines to help with you locking in for the next 90 days, as well as the area of your life you want to improve on. I'm going to help you with action steps, planning this through the whole 9, because you deserve to have the best 2026 ever. And the only way that you get there is by preparation. That is the key. That is what can hold you back from reaching your goals, because you're trying to jump in on January 1st when it really starts October 1st. That's why we go within. That's why we have the fall. The fall is for us to come within ourselves and look and see, what do I want to change and develop for my next year? Use this time wisely. Stay tuned. I'm going to be jumping back on and giving you guys the real deal of how you can change your life in the next 90 days.